Hey guys, today we're going to make a lovely fresh tomato and plum appetizer. Right now summer is at its best, so these recipes are gold. We're going to make a tomato and fig leaf broth with burrata, marinated vegetables, and a delicious plum and spices gel. So, let's begin. First, the tomato broth and fig leaf oil. Take 800 grams of overripe tomatoes. Overripe tomatoes are always very delicious and sweet. Cut them in 4 and then transfer them into a blender. Now cut a shallot in half and clean it. Add it to the blender as well, together with 50 grams of sushi vinegar, 100 grams of ginger syrup, 5 grams of salt, 3 pieces of star anise, 5 black peppercorns, and 2 sprigs of basil. Now blend it till smooth. This takes at least 2 minutes because of the spices. Then pour the tomato on a sieve that's lined with a rinsed clean kitchen towel or napkin and let it drain in your fridge for a couple of hours. I always leave it overnight. After that, pour the broth into a pan and reduce it till you're left with 200 grams of liquid. Now, to intensify the flavor, I always bind the broth with a knife tip of xanthan gum. Really mix it well to ensure all the xanthan gum has dissolved. You end up with a beautiful, clear and intense broth. Then pour it into a piping bottle and keep it in your fridge for later. Now for the fig leaf oil, transfer 30 grams of fig leaves into a blender and also add 150 grams of a neutral oil. I use sunflower oil. Then blend it till the temperature of the oil is 65 degrees Celsius. It will heat up from the friction. Once that's done, pour the oil on a super fine sieve or a sieve that's lined with a kitchen paper and let it drain for a couple of hours. I always do this in the fridge so the oil doesn't change color from the heat. Then the plum and green tomato gel. Take around 400 grams of plums and cut them in half to remove the pit. In total you'll need 330 grams of clean plums. Transfer them into a pan. Now cut 320 grams of green tiger tomatoes in 4 and add them to the pan as well, together with 70 grams of Pedro Jimenez cherry, 3 pieces of star anise and 1 cinnamon stick. Now cover the pan, bring it to a boil and let it simmer on a low heat for 30 minutes. The plums and tomatoes need to turn into a soft compote. Once that has happened, remove the cinnamon and star anise and blend it till smooth. Then pass the puree through a fine sieve and use a ladle to be sure you don't waste anything. Now measure the weight into a clean pan and add a gram of agar powder for every 100 grams of puree. I added 4 grams of agar powder for 400 grams of puree. Mix it well and then bring it to a boil while stirring for at least 30 seconds. Then pour it into a bowl and let it cool down in your fridge. When it's cold, transfer it into a blender and blend it into a smooth gel. Then let it sit in your fridge for at least an hour before it's ready to be used. Now for the marinade. Pour 300 grams of water into a pan and also add 10 grams of sugar and 3 grams of salt. Then cut 30 grams of ginger in thin slices and do the same with 30 grams of galangal and 1 piece of lemongrass. Also add 3 lemon leaves and reduce it on a low heat till almost all the water has evaporated. Then turn off the heat and add 200 grams of a soury or fresh apple juice like Granny Smith juice. Mix this well and then let it marinate in your fridge for a couple of hours. After that, drain the juice and keep it in your fridge for later. Now we can cut the fruits and vegetables. First, cut both ends of a cucumber and slice it in half. Then slice it in thin slices on a mandolin or slice it in thin slices with a sharp knife. Now cut 2 green tiger tomatoes in half and slice it in thin slices as well. Then remove the pits from some plums and slice those as well. It all needs to be very thin and the same thickness for the best result. Then directly brush the plums with the marinade to prevent them from changing color. Keep them in your fridge for later. Now we can start to finish the dish. Place the 3 different slices overlapping on the outside of a round cutter and make sure it's super tight. Then brush some marinade on top. You can also do this during prep, but then brush the marinade on just before serving it. Now gently place it in a bowl or on a plate and remove the round cutter. Add a thin layer of the gel on the bottom. Then take some burrata cheese and open it up. Put a tablespoon on top of the gel and season it with flaky salt and black pepper. Now pipe some gel on top of the slices and decorate the plate with corn flowers. I use white ones and blue ones. As a final step, mix 2/3 of the cold tomato broth with 1/3 of the fig leaf oil and gently mix it before using it. Then serve the plate and finish the dish with the delicious broth and oil. Okay guys, that's it for today. Super happy with the result. The dish looks super nice and vibrant. Love the green color, and especially with that burrata, it gives a really nice contrast. And then the beautiful broth with the little dots of the oil, of the fig leaf oil. Right now fig leaves, they're great in season, and you can make lovely ice cream, creams, oils, powders. It's great to use for those. I have a very big tree outside, so I always have plenty. So yeah, I really recommend getting some beautiful fig leaves and make some really nice recipes. I have many recipes on my website, gillscooking.com. So just give it a go. But let's just dig in. You have all these lovely layers, really nice marinated vegetables, the cucumber, the plum, and take some burrata as well. And then that lovely gel. It's such a beautiful, beautiful gel. The texture of the gel, it's super, yes, I stiff, but it's a quite, well, also not sticky. It's quite a thick gel, so it's not a runny gel. So it really has some texture, and then that really nice tomato with the plum, with all those spices. Yeah, it's a flavor bomb. Likewise for the broth, I might add. So can't wait. That's so good. It's so delicious. It has so much flavor. Texture-wise, it's also really nice. The lovely vegetables still have some texture. And normally I always look for some crispiness. But for this dish, I decided not to add it because the vegetables already have quite a lot of texture. So I really wanted to focus on that. And it really helps with the gel as well. So yeah, I'm just very happy with the result. Especially now, as you can see, well, you can't see outside, but outside the temperature is lovely. It's like 25, 30 degrees Celsius, sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. And then a dish like this, it's perfect. What I always do, and that's a little tip, when taking out your produce out of your components out of the fridge, I always look outside. I always look at the temperature. If it's summer and if it's hot, you want to serve your dishes a bit colder. And if it's winter and it's cold, you want to take it out of the fridge a couple minutes before, maybe 30 minutes before, just so it can get some temperature. But right now, when it's so hot outside and you're looking for a fresh and vibrant dish, then I take it out of the fridge, plate it straight away, serve it straight away. Because then the contrast of the temperature works really well, and then it's lovely and refreshing. So guys, that's it for today. Please let me know in the comments on what you want to see next. Like and share the video, and please subscribe if you want to support my channel and if you want to see more great recipes. Go to my website, gillscooking.com if you want to get all the written recipes, and I hope to see you next time. And as always, bon appetit.